That's right, the Belgrave Lantern Parade's tomorrow night. How exciting. And here with me and Lachie in the studio, we have got Shakti McLarin. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thanks.
Cool. And so you were one of the people that actually instigated the whole thing 6 years ago.
Yes.
How did you... Why? What inspired you?
Well, Neil and I were great mates, and Neil was talking about the lights that he'd seen up in New South Wales on winter solstice, and how we'd like that to happen here, and wouldn't that be great? And I said, I reckon we can make it happen. He said, no, it's too hard. And I said, no, I can do it, we can do it, we'll do it together. So that's how it started, and we had our first little meeting, and I think the local artist, Joyce Awalo, came along, and Caroline Richards, and we went from there.
And so you said the lights up in northern, where?
Yeah, there's a lantern parade in Lismore, and it just shuts the whole town down, and it's huge. They have thousands of people, and it's a perfect setting for a lantern parade. Yeah, and Warburton also had a lantern parade, so we went up there and talked to them as well.
Cool.
Nice.
So what part did you play in the first lantern parade?
Well, I guess Neil was like the artistic director, and I think I would be the executive producer. I got the money.
Okay, yeah.
I got the money, I wrote the submissions, I got the people together, I talked to Belgrave traders and Beringa and other people that were involved. So we worked together really well.
Sounds great. Creative people love people who can get money, you know.
Yeah.
We love you guys. We just go, I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Oh, money, cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, and that was the issue, was that Neil was thinking, I don't know how to do this without money. Well, we did get money. We got it from the Yarra Rangers, thanks to Samantha Dunn. We got a lot of support from her all along, but there were quite a few hiccups along the way.
Ooh, like what?
Well, we didn't know we could close the road until the Friday of the Lantern Parade. So if it wasn't for Samantha, we wouldn't have got that to happen. We had to close it on our own, and we had walkie-talkies that stopped working. And I was down at the tin shed, and Neil was up the other end, and we were trying to talk about how to close. Well, we knew how we would close it, but we were trying to get it closed, and then there was a car accident right in front of me. Just a very minor one, but it just slowed things down. It was just a miracle we got going. And then the last thing that happened that the CFA got a big shock about is that Neil, in all his energy, had developed this amazing blazing thing that we could light at the end of the parade.
Yeah, you're going to have a big finale.
Yeah, and we had this thing at the end of Belgrave shops, which lit up in a blaze.
On purpose.
And there were kids everywhere, and we've still got it on video. It looked fantastic, but the CFA got a big shock.
Well, that was the last time that happened.
That's the last time that happened.
Unfortunately. That's cool as. What was the lantern that went up in fire?
It wasn't a lantern, it was... No, it was a structure. It was all designed to burn.
Cool.
It was ropes. Neil put it together. It was ropes with Kero on a frame.
Wow.
Yeah. No, it wasn't a lantern. So it was meant to happen, but the CFA didn't know about it.
That's the best.
Yeah. So it used to happen at Lismore. They have big structures that they light. So that was what we were trying to do.
It's like the Wicker Man in America. That's
Yeah,
huge.
or the Burning Man.
The Burning Man.
Yes, I think Neil had
Burning
that in
Man.
his mind as well. Yeah.
Yeah, right. So, and you've seen it grow over the last 5 years, and we're to our 6th year now. And so has it sort of surprised you how it's taken off?
Yeah, as a health promotion worker, my main role, whenever I work, is to make something sustainable. So I came back to help out in the 2nd year, and then I left it because I knew it had to grow, and it has grown beautifully. And I think the major thing is that Belgrave traders owned it.
Yeah.
And they're pushed, they just love it, and Beringa supports it. So it's all set up now, and it's just going bigger and bigger. And what it reminds me of is Guy Fawkes Night when I was a kid. And I really wanted it to keep going. Because when I was a kid, we used to walk around the streets, free and easy, and we'd light bonfires and crackers. And our kids don't get that. And when I see the kids walk down the street now, safe, with lights, my heart just glows. I just love it. It's lovely to see the kids' faces. And it gives children and families a safe night out. And we claim the road.
That's great.
Yeah, and one of the councillors said, "Oh, we'll never close Main Road." "No, we'll never close Main Road." And Vic Road said, "No, you're not closing Main Road." And then we did, and we said, "Well, there's a precedent. You have to." And they said, "No, it's never been closed." And apparently it was closed on New Year's Eve in the 30s.
Yeah.
Every New Year's Eve they would close it and have a party. And so it feels lovely now that it's closed longer, and there is kind of a party atmosphere in the street now.
Yeah.
So very proud of Belgrave.
Yeah.
Because I just think it's going to be a highlight in Victoria. That's what I hear about now. People in Melbourne are talking about it. And I think it even got on the ABC last year at some point. John Fain talked about it.
Rocket, put Belgrave on the map.
Yeah.
What's the most amazing lantern you've seen at the Belgrave Lantern Parade?
I think in the first year it was the lantern that two lanterns that Janine and Neil made. It's hard to know. They were the two goddesses that they used, and they were beautiful. But I've had a bit of a sneak preview of a very beautiful lantern. I'm not sure it's coming out to the parade this year, by someone that I know, and it's two owls.
Ah!
Who are you talking about?
Yeah, Emma, I think that's just so beautiful.
Oh, that was, so there's a kind of like a little posse of Lantern Parade artists now. And so myself and Glenn Scollier, Renata Crowe and Jane Thomas worked together to create these two owl lanterns which are sitting at Berinja.
Beautiful.
They're going to stay there at Berinja actually, because we thought that then it can stay there and promote the Lantern Parade. And then it's going to be up for another 2 weeks, I think.
Last year I think there was a Viking boat the local scouts made, and I think that sticks in my mind. But it's just so exciting, standing there and looking and waiting. I love it.
It's hard to know whether you want to be in the parade or you want to just watch it.
Yeah.
Well, and this year there's a Puffing Billy lantern, which is pretty spectacular. I've seen some previews of that on Facebook, and it's just like really amazing.
It's lovely how the library has them up all year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's very special.
I worked on a lantern at Canara Community House in French Gully.
Oh, what's the lantern of?
It's a giant house, surprisingly. A community house, yeah.
Oh,
It's a house.
cool.
It's been decorated by all the volunteers, and now they're struggling to figure out how they're going to light it to get it to the brightest it can be without, setting Belgrave on fire. Which would be good, not to do that.
So, thank you so much for joining us, Shakti. It's really interesting to hear the background to what has become a much-loved local festival.
Thank you.
Go Stacks!
You can't now. No, you can't. Yeah, there's a whole crowd.